This Bachmann 440 travels a lot quicker than the consolidation does on the same amount of power. Maybe because it doesn't have such a drag behind it, but as you can see, the difference is clear. No, your tape is not running backwards. I'm backing the train out. I'm going to try to give some distance between the 440 and the consolidation. The only way to do that is to back this one out. The consolidation is still static, which means it's still out there just sitting still. I'm going to back this one up as far as I can and go from there. Then we can run it for a while before it catches up. Well, that ought to do it. Well, there goes the helicopter that lands at the hospital. Somebody is off to Vegas for some sort of appendectomy or an addictomy or who knows. Okay, hey Truman. What's going on, man? Well, the trains are set up. It's been about an hour and a half. I had to go charge the battery up. As you can see, we've got some space between the two trains now. Unfortunately, the 440 travels faster than the consolidation does on the same voltage. We're going to go ahead and take off right now here and apply power to the trains. Whoops. Oops. Well, let's go ahead forward here. There we go. Hell, I probably could have double-headed him if I had a Bachmann coupler on there. Nice. Very nice. Whoa, got a little bump there. Little bump. Sorry about that, Chief. Got a little bump. Didn't expect the train to bump the camera, but it did. So fire me. Ah, the Super Chief. The Super Chief and its components. 6 cars, and there's a U-boat sitting there in front of the 2 AB units, but I think I hear a train coming. No, there's nothing wrong with your television set. I'm just setting the picture effects to black and white mode. The previous mode you were looking at was a negative mode, kind of like a negative picture. And the old 35mm film strips used to see negatives, kind of a reverse of what you were looking at on the flip side. Well, there they go. 440 is going to catch up with that thing any second. Well, I think that's going to do it for the 280. We're going to set up some different trains, yeah. Thanks for watching. But the train is going to get put into the storage bin, and we're going to go ahead and set up, oh God, I don't know exactly, but maybe I'll surprise you. Stand by at the Ghost Rockin' Western.
Pulling about almost 5 amps. 5 amps.
We're running a fast freight today. Well, the Santa Fe F3AB unit, followed by a Burlington Northern GP30, pulling a long, fast freight today. It's out of the tunnel. Oh yeah. Well, the light is pretty good right now for photography. The fast freight blasts out of the tunnel. And you'll probably notice that the trains were wet because I hosed them off. They've been in storage for a while in that box. Oh yeah. Slowing down the freight a little bit tonight as the sun goes down on January 9th, Wednesday, 2008. Looks like we got a little scrape on the snowplow there. Might be a slight dip in the track. And by my eyesight, looks like there is. I'll have to put a little ballast under there and raise it up to level. Yep. As the sun goes down on the Ghost Rockin' Western, the train's followed up by a silver Southern Pacific steel caboose. Got some nice pictures today. It's a 20-car train behind 3 diesels. 20-car train behind 3 diesels. The 3 diesels are made by USA Trains, as you already know. Personally, I think those 3 diesels got a lot of power. There's a lot of power to spare. I could kick up the speed and really make a fast freight out of this, or drag it slow like I am now. I believe I could add another 10 cars to this trio, and I think this trio would easily pull another 10 cars. It just goes to show you how powerful multi-units are. Whether it be an AB, or an ABB, or an ABBA. In this case, it's an AB and a GP30. There's a lot of power behind that pull. I can feel it. The rolling stock may seem familiar to you, but it was the stock I had in the storage tunnel for the last month or so. It has withstood rain, wind. Of course, it's protected by the wind, but some rainstorms came in there, and the train's got pretty dirty. Not bad, and it doesn't leak, but some water gets in. But with the wind and the dust, and it's not airtight, the drains were pretty dirty. So I went ahead and rinsed them off with the hose, and that's it. Run them a few times, dry them, let God dry them as they go around the layout. It's desolate out here in the desert. You can see that there's nothing much going on, except for a few coyotes that wandered through yesterday morning. They kind of ran up the hill and across my yard. I'll take you over to my father's old gas pump. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's from the turn of the century. He's had it for 40 years. He gave it to me, and that's where it's going to sit for the next 7 or 8 years at least. I have no plans to restore it. I think it'll be fine just right there. The thing is so damn heavy. You needed a bobcat to bring it down the hill. My power connections have withstood the test of time as well so far. I mean, I haven't had the things connected, but you can see that I'm using the split jaw. I've got 2 power leads on one side and 2 positive power leads on the other. That means I've got this particular red and black line runs completely down to the end of the yard. It's hooked up about 10 feet past that bench onto the ground, and it provides voltage at the far end of the layout, and it's much needed voltage because without it the trains would barely creep. Right now I'm creeping it on purpose. I got the power down low. I'll give you a bird's eye view now from the top of the yard. Maybe a little different perspective on this. I'm running some pretty old rolling stock, and I've got some newer version diesels. It's quite a task to remove all the rolling stock off the track and take it off the, take it inside of the train shed and put it on the shelves, and then take down some new stock. And I've only got 3 storage tracks outside, and that's why I'm running the same stock until I get the gumption to go ahead and remove them all, put them back on the shelf, and put some new ones on. I just don't like, I just don't feel like getting some of the stock dirty. My 50-foot boxcars, 53-foot boxcars, some of the nicer USA reefers. If I run that stuff, I'm just reluctant to leave it out. The Bachmann and a few of the Aristocraft stuff, I don't care. But as time goes on, I'll probably not care about the other stuff as well. In other words, I'll put the USA reefers on the track and run them, and then I'll leave them out there overnight in the train storage tunnel. Without fear. I really don't think anybody's going to bother them. But if the weather's nice, a little dust isn't going to hurt them. Won't you agree? What would you do? Not that it matters. All of us are different. Clarkson's one of them. He's notorious for leaving stuff out in the open sun. Yet his layouts had years and years of improvement. Clarkson's gone, from, oh man, he's had his layout probably up since 1990, maybe 88. What's it been, 20 years? A lot can happen in 20 years on an outdoor layout. The sun's gone down behind the mountain now. I'll probably have to finish up for today. I don't know how much tape I've used, probably an hour at least. If there's tape left, we're going to run some more diesels, something a little bigger. I'll change the stock for sure. I've got to. It's time to spruce things up a little bit, liven things up somewhat, and get some more colors out there, something a little new. I'm going to run the Super Chief again too. I'm really looking forward to doing that. Let me give you a perspective also of what the yard's like. See, there are no fences. If you'll look closely, I've got neighbors that have open view of this layout. That's Earl's house there in the center of your screen. Rose, she's a real estate agent. She rents this house out to people that are, yeah, I mean, they never come out in the backyard. That's Steve's house there. He's a salesman from California. They bought this house, oh, I don't know. He said he bought it about 3 years ago. He came in and checked out my indoor layout. Liked it a lot. He was pretty impressed. He was taking pictures on his camera phone for his wife. And up there is Dave. I forgot his wife's name, but when they were cutting down the trees, she came out and, you know, introduced herself. But again, no fences. It's got a wide open spanse, and I like it like that. I do. I don't think anybody's going to bother me. I think those days are over. Here's the far south turn curve. I haven't named it yet. Some kind of a curve or a turn. I've got a set of stairs going down right here that leads out to the open field. Now you can see the discoloration of the dirt, and what it is are chips. It's all that is chopped up Palo Verde trees that were shot out from the field up here. I'll probably add some footage to the tape that I give you of the trees getting chopped up and chopped down. But all that is wide open out there now. You can see the stump. There's one stump. There's another right there. But if I draw back, you'll see. Let's see what we got here. There it is. There's one of the trees that felled, and they just chopped it down and left it there. But you can see the trash is still there and a lot of dead foliage. We'll clean it up. The gray stuff and the dead stuff can eventually disappear as I load up my pickup truck, take it to the dump. I can pull my truck up right about where that pole is, and I can load it up with some dead leaves and trash, and I'll just haul it off to the dump. Doesn't have to be done in one day, but Rome wasn't built in a day, neither was Lake Havasu.